What's up? It's your boy Big Norm, and I'm back with another DC Universe Online video. Today is going to be an update on the water DPS loadout. As you all know, I don't stick to loadouts if I can find another one. Now, before I begin, disclaimer. This loadout is not the ultimate end-all to be-all loadout. It's strictly a loadout that I'm sharing with you. And this is primarily for those who have started using water and need a startup loadout until they find something better. Or for those who have left the water power, came back, and need something to get refamiliarized. That is my focus. This is not the ultimate DPS water loadout. I must reiterate. Okay, this is my current loadout. I've had two other previous loadouts if you want to check them out on my previous videos, but this is an update. I have a new loadout that I would like to share with everyone. Now with this hero I am working on this, I just got his augments a few days ago, sometime last week, actually. So I'm working on getting his augments and things up. So I normally don't use this character, but I've decided to go all in and start investing replay badges and everything. So now I'm getting his specs up. So let's go into the loadout. Okay. All right. And this is a left to right loadout. A small bit of chaining, but nothing fancy. Okay. First is high tide. Grants high tide, allowing certain water abilities to gain additional effects. You definitely want to start your rotation with high tide. Cooldown 30 seconds. Power cost 200. So on the power to deep, increase the potency of some of your water abilities. Now the key to this is finding powers that benefit from high tide. So you go with drown. Drown crushes enemies, making them vulnerable to crushing effects around nearby opponents or water orbs, stunning them and dealing damage over time. This will give you a little bonus if you activate High Tide. Aqua Lance. If you are in High Tide, remember, Aqua Lance deals damage over time. This affects, however, removes High Tide. But if you're in High Tide and get to that, it will give you that extra oomph that you need in your attack. Okay, Tsunami Strikes. Now this is a tap range time 2. Tsunami Strikes continue striking enemies with torrents of water, dealing them damage. Each strike from Tsunami Strike against your target reduces the current cooldown of High Tide by 4 seconds. You can also use this, you can also use this in Healer Role, decreases the damage dealt, but heals the most damaged group member. So that's one you can use for healing and DPS. Shark Frenzy. All right. If you are in high tide, Shark Frenzy will deal critical damage. This effect removes high tide. So you have two that removes high tide once activated. And my supercharge will be Whirlpool, cause a vortex to form at your target's feet, pulling any enemies near them into the center, dealing damage to them over time. And this is, once again, this is an easy rotation. I'm going to start off with high tide, go through my rotation. Now the key that facilitates my rotation will be Tsunami Strikes and Shark Frenzy. So I will start with high tide, drown, Aqua Lance. While I'm waiting for these three to cool down, I'll go with my Tsunami Strikes, Shark Frenzy, Tsunami Strike, Shark Frenzy. By that time, High Tide should have cooled down, and I'll hit that again and go back through my rotation. And the thing I like about this particular rotation is that it is not power hungry. And I always look for loadouts that are not power hungry. My last loadout was decent, but it was on a slow side, and he left me way too open for attacks. All right, so let's go. I'm gonna start out with high tide. I'm gonna just go through the rotation, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I messed that up. But I would normally go Tsunami Strike, Shark Frenzy, Tsunami Strikes, Shark Frenzy, go back to High Tide. That's what I would normally do. Now, I'm just going to show you this real quick because, like I said, I haven't been. I've just now invested in this guy. So he's at 235 skill points. Always use superpower because I want my damage to come from my superpower. Maxed out crit attack chance, crit attack damage. I don't use them a lot, so might and power is on the low side. Iconic powers, robot sidekick, in case I want to change it up. Flight, weapons, as you can see, is staff. I actually changed this guy from a water bow user to a flying staff user. Okay, so like I said, I'm going with High Tide, Drown, Aqualance, Tsunami Strikes, Shark Frenzy. While these three in cooldown, I will rotate between Tsunami Strikes and Shark Frenzy. Once High Tide cools down, I hit it again and go through my rotation. Okay, that's it. I'm not using any pets. I'm not using the shields. Actually, let me show you real quick because, like I said, these are on the low side, and I just came through a battle. I haven't healed up yet, but I'm using Eye Gemini. Like I said, it's still in the low phase. I just got these last week, y'all. So that's why these my artifacts are so low because I didn't even have any for DPS for water DPS because I wasn't invested in this particular hero. Quinzlet. So once I get these up, I should be reaping the rewards of these, and I'm using Tetrahedron of Ogrund. So those are my three artifacts that I'm using. All right, let's go here. Ally is Nubia. I'm thinking about changing that to Oracle because of the healing capabilities. Um, my what is this? Long Live the Legion. I need to get that out. I'm sorry, y'all. Long Live the Legion. My origin augments 278, 282. So I'm getting those up there. I have the current one, shock to the system. I just need to change these out right here. But that's where I'm going with mine, ladies and gentlemen. His armor is pretty much about even, give or take a couple of CRs, 341, 342. I got one maybe 339. So I just need to get that up. Rings, because I got to get those up too. So it's about even. It could do more. I got my Paradox Gazer. I got my Water Henchman. I have my boost, you want to call it, and I have my Orbital Strike. I may change that one of these to a supply drop. I think that would actually help out my cause when because I don't have a soda. That soda, that's the one that you have to build up with augment and intimate. I don't have that one for this character. But I am working on it. So once again, I'm going to give you my loadout. Okay. High Tide, Drown, Aqualance, Tsunami Strikes, and Shark Frenzy. Once again, you always start with High Tide to get the benefits of any of these other powers, okay? Get the perks. The additional effects you need to that could make a difference between you getting taken out or them getting taken out. All right? Start with High Tide, go with Drown, Aqualance, Tsunami Strike, Shark Frenzy. Wait for these three to cool down. This one is a 30-second cooldown, and just rotate between Tsunami Strike, Shark Frenzy. Once you see High Tide back up, hit High Tide and go back through your rotation. By the time High Tide comes back up, Drown and Aqualand should be ready to go as well, okay? So, once again, left to right. Okay, just waiting for High Tide. High Tide is back up. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So, tell me what you think about this loadout. Those who watch my videos, where can I improve on this loadout? Do I need to switch something out? Add anything, take anything away? Tell me where I could improve my loadout, my augments, everything. Okay, I really appreciate any feedback you have. Drop a comment in the comment section, like, share, subscribe to Big Norm TV, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.